Okay, so find all possible values of the expression means that there's two answers. So you can cheat if you want and literally plug that in. Inverse sine of negative square root of 3 divided by 2, enter, and it says negative 60. So you know one of the answers is in the fourth quadrant. Let's pretend I didn't know that. I know because it's negative, it's not in the first quadrant. So let me just try this quadrant. Negative sine. Sine means opposite over hypotenuse. But here I'm going up. Up is positive. The hypotenuse is positive. I'll never get a negative. That one's out. I go here. Remember, everything is based on the origin. I look here. This was going down. That's negative. Oh, that matches. I go down. Look, that's negative. Oh, it matches. So what matches? Negative rad 3 over 2. What matches? Negative rad 3 over 2. Now you need to show me that you know that's a 1. And let me erase this. And this is a negative 1. Okay? I'll erase this up here too. So now I know what's across from the rad 3? 60. So that means that's across from here. Now, when I do this, I got to find my reference angle. So this is closest to 360 degrees. 360 minus 60 is 300. And then this is 180. 180 plus 60, 240. Now you're not sure if I'm right. I'm going to go sine of 240. And I get a decimal. Now I'm going to take this and see if it also equals that decimal. Negative square root of 3 divided by 2. And they're equal decimals, so I'm good to go. Do the same thing over here for this one. Sine of 300. Negative 0.866, so I know that I'm good to go. This problem is the exact same thing as this one, but the only difference is after you get the answer, I want you to put it in radian mode. Okay? So I know since it's cosine and it's positive, I know one of the answers is in the first quadrant. If you don't believe me, I will do the inverse cosine. Oops. Square root of 2 divided by 2, it tells me 45, but I knew that. Okay? So then I know this is rad 45. So you're not going to write rad 2 because 1 over rad 2, let me lower that, is rad 2 over rad 2, which is rad 2 over 2. That's your simplified answer, but this is your ratio. So 1, 1, rad 2, cosine, it matches that. Okay, so the first one is 45 degrees because the first quadrant is your reference angle. Now I go to the next one. Okay, let's try this one. Adjacent. Adjacent means negative. Because look, we were dealing with this one for cosine. But this is adjacent and this is negative. Well, then that means this one's also adjacent, which is also negative. So I know it can't be in those two quadrants. So that means I know it's this one right here. I know that was a little obnoxious, but it's okay. Right 1. Oh, look, it's right there. But I have to show negative 1, and I have to show rad 2, 45 degrees. But this time I use my reference angle. So I'm going to go 360 minus 45 is 315 degrees. How do you know I'm right? I'm going to take the cosine of 45, and I get 0.707. I'm going to take the cosine of 315, 0.707. I'm going to take the square root of 2 divided by 2, 0.707. So those are right. Now I have to take these, divide by 180, which is pi over 4. So that one goes with that. And I go 315 divided by 360. I can either divide by 5, or I can just do it in my calculator. And I feel like if it's a test, I wouldn't chance it. And that's 7 pi over 8, which is with that one. Okay. All right, find the area of the triangle. If I'm finding the area, there can be no match. So if there's no match, this is F, this is D, this is E. So perfect, D, E, F. 1/2, 20 times 30, sine of 33. It's always sine. Half of 20 is 10, times 3 is 300, sine 33. I'll pick up my calculator, 300, sine 33. Oops, not 33. I rounded it to the nearest tenth, 663.4. There are no units, so units squared. Okay. Now this one, you notice it's the exact same triangle, but I'm not asking for the area, I'm not asking for the inside. I'm asking for the measure of F. I'm asking for angle D. I'm asking for angle E. So you're going to see this on the test, and you're going to have to find it. So let's look and see if there's a match. Darn it, there is no match. If there was a match, I could do the law of sines, but now I have to do the law of cosines. So what I'm going to try to do is always find the length first because it equals. So I'm going to go F squared equals. Now I add those two, 20 squared plus 30 squared minus 2 times 20 times 30, law of cosines. Cosine, who's the match? 33. So when you look here, this matches this. It's on the outside. It's on the outside. Now I simplify. Yes, I want you to simplify. 2 times 20 is 40. 1200 cosine of 33 minus 1200 cosine of 33. Now in your calculator, you might want to put parentheses around there. Otherwise, your calculator will read it as 1300 minus 1200, then take the cosine of 33. So 1300 minus parentheses 1200 cosine 33, and I get 293.59. It doesn't matter, I don't have to round because I'm not actually rounding, I'm just putting it as a placeholder. Now I'm going to square root. When I square root, I go second square root of second negative. And that's my answer. Now I round to the nearest. F equals 17.1. Boom, I have 17.1. Okay, so now I've gotten this. Now I have a match. Since I have a match, I'm going to do the law of sines. Sine of 33 over 17.1 equals sine of, I don't know, I'll find E because I feel like it. And who is E with? 30. I don't know why I did it all in pink. I should have just done that in pink. Multiply, multiply. I know I didn't leave much space, sorry. 30 sine 33 over 17.1 equals sine of E. It's not just E, it's sine of E. So I'm going to take that in my calculator. 30 sine 33 divided by 17.1. That's my answer. So I have sine of E equals 0.95. Now I'm going to do the inverse sine of that, but keep my perfect answer. Inverse sine of second answer. Oops, second answer. And I get 72.8. So E equals 72.8 degrees. So I come over here, 72.8 degrees. Now I need to find the third angle. So if I have 33 and I have 72, I can go 180 minus 72.8 plus 33, and I'll get my answer. 180 minus 72.8 plus 33, and I get 74.2. Don't forget the degrees or you'll lose points. All right, now I need to find the measurements again. This time they're going to want T, S, and angle R. Okay. I feel like I can get angle R pretty easily. I'm just going to go this 180 minus that. That'll give me this. Show my work. 180 minus 97 plus 28. 180 minus 97 plus 28. I get 55 degrees. I'm going to write that in there. Now I have a match. I'm going to use that match 2 times. One time to get an S, and one time to get a T. So I'm going to write it twice. Sine of the degree over 32 equals, and a second time, sine of 55 over 32 equals. This is going to help me find S. This is going to help me find T. Who is with S? 97. Who is with T? 28. Notice how they look almost exactly the same. Multiply, 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 multiply. Show your work. 32 sine 97 over sine 55 equals S. Now notice the difference between this one, it just equals S. So I'm just going to take that and plug it into the calculator. Where this one was sine of that, so I had to do the inverse sine. 32 sine 28 over sine 55. So I'll do this one first. Parenthesis 32 sine 97 divided by sine 55. I get 38.7, but I have to round to the nearest tenth. 38.8 is S. I'm too lazy to rewrite all of it, so if I press the up key, all I have to change is the 97 to a 28. If you're worried about it, rewrite it. And then I get 18.3. My answer there, my answer here, and my answer up there. Okay, second page. And